Okay, Sandy Dog and I, we are headed out to hand plant about 1,000 longleaf pines today. And this will be hopefully the last longleaf pines that I plant. We're kind of finishing that up on a longleaf pine habitat restoration project here on the Florida homestead. This will put us right out about 20,000 total trees that we have planted. And so I'm really grateful to get that part of the project finished. And I've been restoring the longleaf on this property for, I guess, the better part of 20 years now. In the last decade, we've been hand planting these longleaf pine. Again, closing in on about the 20,000 mark now. I chose to hand plant them. I didn't want the property to look like an industrial forest with trees all in rows like a corn crop or something. And so the hand planting is obviously more labor intensive, a little bit slower than machine planting, a little lower survival rate, I believe. But since my primary goal is wildlife habitat, I'm not trying to have a very high stocking density of timber. So, you know, even if I have 300 trees per acre survive, I'm very happy with that. But the primary goal is to get to a point where I can use fire, prescribed fire, as my primary management tool. And so along with the pine, I've been planting wiregrass plugs, and we're still going to do more of that. I think about the same amount of wiregrass plugs have been planted, about 20,000, but going to continue that probably this summer once the rainy season gets going, get back on the wiregrass. But the 1,000 trees we're putting in today will, like I say, hopefully be the final longleaf pine that I plant on this property. And so we'll be very grateful to get those in. We've kind of staggered our planting, so have somewhat of an uneven aged stand eventually. And so some of my pines are, you know, 7, 8, 10 years old. Some are 2 years old. And so that's kind of a good deal to have some different age classes out there. I've gotten timber seedlings from several different sources, and we also have some second growth, really what's old growth longleaf on the property as well. So anyway, that's the goal today, and we'll see how many we can get in before we get totally worn out. Now, one of the little things that I'm able to do, since I'm kind of planting at a small scale, is I take these little seedlings. You can see the little containerized longleaf seedling there, and I dip them in a little bit of Miracle Grow just to kind of give them a little bit of fertilizer boost before I put them in the ground. I think they will appreciate it. Lord knows it's a last fertile resource they're gonna touch out here in this sugar sand. But that might get them a little bit of a head start and wake them up and get them going. They've been stored in a refrigerated storage, and grown in a nursery. These came from Moultrie, Georgia. And so give them a little bit of food boost, and we'll get them in the ground. So when I'm planting these little longleaf seedlings, I try my best to plant them at the right depth. And you can see the plug here, and the best option obviously is get it planted perfect. And since I'm doing it by hand, I can do my best to kind of control that planting depth. One of the worst things is to plant any tree too deep, but especially on these longleaf, because that bud is right here, and if you plant too deep and close that bud, that tree really is not going to have a chance. It'll get mildew and mold, and it just likes a good dry, airy spot. And this is practically desert, out here in this sand hill. So anyway, if anything, I prefer to plant it where it's not too deep. And sometimes, as you can see, that's easy to do out here when the sand just falls right in the hole so quick, it's so dry.